It started with a single TikTok video, a shaky clip, a trembling voice, and one chilling sentence. "I think this truck is taking kids." Within hours, that 23-second post spiraled into millions of views. Fear spread faster than facts. Parents locked their doors, schools issued warnings, and police were flooded with calls. All because of one viral rumor that ice cream trucks were kidnapping children across Virginia. But what if the danger wasn't real at all? What if the fear itself was the virus? This is the Virginia ice cream truck mystery. Welcome to Mind Cipher, where mystery meets knowledge. In this video, we unravel the strange and chilling rumor that spread like wildfire: ice cream trucks and missing children. Was it just an internet hoax, or something far darker hiding beneath the noise? The true story of how a single video turned an entire state into a digital nightmare. Let's dive deep into the mystery. Stay till the end. The truth is colder than you think. It all began quietly, as most digital storms do, in the endless, looping corridors. What started as a single video, shaky, grainy, and unremarkable, would soon ignite fear across social media platforms. The claim was simple, yet terrifying. Dozens of children were disappearing across Virginia, and the usual suburban streets had become the stage for something sinister. Ice cream trucks, those nostalgic symbols of summer, were now painted as harbingers of abduction. It was August 2025. Summer had waned. Schools were about to reopen, and families were adjusting to the long days of heat and light. Somewhere in Virginia, a TikTok creator posted a video claiming to have spotted an ice cream truck driving at 1:23 a.m., a time when children were asleep and parents were unguarded. The creator's voice trembled as they whispered into the camera. "I don't know how to say this, but I think this truck is taking kids." The clip was short, 23 seconds long, but it quickly grabbed attention. Wheat and Oars was reposted, stitched, and remixed across dozens of accounts. Hashtags such as mystery truck, missing kidsva, and ice cream abductions began trending, each new post amplifying the fear. TikTok's algorithm, designed to maximize engagement, did the rest. Videos showing unusual phenomena, moments of terror, or anything emotionally charged were automatically promoted to a wider audience. The trembling voice of the first creator became a chorus, multiplied hundreds of times over. Each repost carried a subtle, invisible contagion. Fear. By the end of the first week, millions had viewed videos claiming that children were disappearing. Many included grainy footage of ice cream trucks, parked at odd hours, or driving down suburban streets with eerie, haunting music overlaid. The combination of imagery and narrative struck a chord in viewers' minds. A chord of primal fear. The emotional trigger was obvious. Stories of missing children elicit an almost universal response. Even the suggestion of danger, no matter how unverified, taps into a deep, instinctual anxiety. Parents saw themselves in the videos, imagining their own children being whisked away in the dead of night. Teenagers, influenced by peer reactions and comment threads, began sharing their own supposed sightings, adding fuel to the growing narrative. Soon, the pattern became clear. Each new video followed a similar structure. The setup, a quiet street, the camera positioned at a slight angle, showing nothing overtly dangerous. The evidence, an ice cream truck, often empty, often moving slowly, sometimes parked. The claim, text overlays or voiceovers suggesting abductions, numbers of missing children, or strange occurrences. The engagement hook a call to viewers to watch carefully, report sightings, or share their own experiences. The simplest elements created a sense of authenticity. After all, the videos were short, often handheld, lacking professional polish. They appeared raw, like eyewitness accounts. And the context, the anonymity of the internet, allowed fear to blossom, unchallenged. Within days, a secondary phenomenon emerged. Numbers began to inflate. The first video suggested dozens of missing children. Later posts claimed 50 kids in a week, and some even alleged 80 kids missing in 10 days. No sources were cited. No police records were referenced. The numbers became part of the mythos. Higher figures drew more attention, creating a feedback loop of fear and virality. As the story spread, Reddit threads and Facebook groups formed around the topic. On Reddit, users debated the validity of the claims, shared their own anecdotal experiences, and pieced together timelines from multiple TikTok videos. These threads, often hundreds of comments long, demonstrated the social dimension of digital fear. Users collaborated, speculated, and sometimes corrected each other. But the collective anxiety persisted. Meanwhile, TikTok videos continued to evolve. Creators began experimenting with cinematic techniques, area filters, slow pans, suspenseful music, and cryptic captions. The fear became aesthetic. What began as a simple claim about ice cream trucks had transformed into a digital horror narrative, unfolding in real time across millions of devices. Even mainstream media began to take notice. By the second week of August, local news outlets reported on viral TikTok videos claiming children were disappearing in Virginia. Headlines were cautious. TikTok videos suggest missing children in Virginia. Authorities investigate. For journalists, the challenge was to report without amplifying panic. For viewers, the mere presence of a news segment lent legitimacy to the fear. Within this digital ecosystem, emotion drove engagement, and engagement drove virality. TikTok's recommendation engine amplified videos based on watch time, likes, and shares, unintentionally turning anxious parents, curious teens, and casual viewers into participants in the story. Fear had become contagious, not through physical proximity, but through screens. The first wave of panic coincided with confirmation bias. Viewers reported seeing strange ice cream trucks parked late at night, children acting unusually, or neighbors behaving oddly. These observations, often ordinary events reframed through the lens of fear, were stitched into the narrative. The internet transformed mundane sights into evidence of a sinister plot. Creators also began fabricating content, intentionally or not, to match the emerging narrative. Screenshots, edited images, and videos showing trucks, supposedly parked near empty playgrounds, circulated widely. The line between observation and fabrication blurred. Authenticity became secondary to engagement, as each new post added weight to the viral myth. By mid-August, the viral story reached a critical point. Community panic became visible offline. Police departments in multiple Virginia counties received calls from residents reporting suspicious trucks or strange activity. Parents posted on local Facebook groups asking if anyone else had seen the same ice cream trucks. Even local schools issued reminders to parents about child safety, inadvertently lending the rumor a sense of credibility. Amid this chaos, fact-checking organizations stepped in. Snopes and other verification outlets published articles, labeling the mass abduction claims as false and unverified. They examined public missing children statistics, which revealed no spike in cases compared to normal weeks. Official sources, including the Virginia State Police, confirmed that no evidence existed linking ice cream trucks to missing children. Yet the corrections had limited impact. In the digital age, misinformation often spreads faster than facts. The videos continued to circulate. The narrative had evolved beyond the simple claim of abductions. It had become a digital folklore, a collective story shaped by fear, imagination, and algorithmic amplification. Experts in psychology and social behavior began analyzing the phenomenon. Dr. Amina Resnick, a behavioral scientist, described it as a form of digital mass psychogenic event. She explained, "The brain responds to perceived threats in a social context. When thousands of people observe fear online, they experience anxiety and physical symptoms as if the threat were real." The TikTok videos didn't create danger, but they created a real physiological response in millions of viewers. This insight illuminated the mechanics of the viral spread. The symptoms of fear, sleeplessness, hypervigilance, anxiety were not caused by abduction, but by digital suggestion amplified by social media. The ice cream truck, ordinary in daylight, had become a symbol of invisible threat. For viewers, the story had all the hallmarks of authenticity. Eyewitness footage, specific numbers, timestamps, personal testimonies. Each element reinforced the illusion of truth. Even as fact-checkers published clarifications, many users continued to share videos, citing team as evidence authorities are hiding. The first part of the Virginia ice cream truck mystery concludes here. What began as a single video on TikTok had spiraled into a viral phenomenon. Emotion, digital platforms, and social dynamics converged to create a narrative that felt real, even if it was based on rumor. The fear was tangible. The myth was alive. By the third week of August 2025, the story of the Virginia ice cream truck had evolved far beyond a single TikTok post. The rumor had become an ecosystem, a self-reinforcing loop of fear, speculation, and digital collaboration. Every new post, every share, every comment contributed to an invisible network, one that fed on attention, amplified emotion, and blurred the line between observation and imagination. The viral momentum was staggering. TikTok videos stitched together by users from different counties showed trucks parked near empty playgrounds, sometimes at odd hours, sometimes on streets already familiar to viewers. Reddit threads, some exceeding 1,000 comments, cataloged sightings, speculated on motivations, and debated the authenticity of each clip. For many viewers, this online web of anecdotes felt convincing. Each story referenced others, citing previous posts as corroboration. What emerged was not just a rumor, but a digital collective narrative, a shared experience built on fragments of observation, fear, and interpretation. Communities responded in multiple ways. Parents took extra precautions. Children were kept indoors, doors locked early, and neighborhood watches became hypervigilant. Local Facebook groups buzzed with posts like, "Anyone else see the truck near Main Street at 12:45 a.m.? This is not normal. Please check on your neighbor's kids. I saw something strange." Schools issued reminders to parents, inadvertently validating fears. Even though authorities clarified that no abductions had occurred, the digital echo of worry was already embedded in people's consciousness. Anxiety had entered the physical world. Meanwhile, conspiracy theories flourished. Some claimed the ice cream trucks were part of a secret trafficking network. Others alleged they were government experiments on children. Creators with thousands of followers uploaded videos claiming they had followed trucks in real time, documenting the movements of suspicious vehicles. Each narrative expanded the myth, adding layers of urgency and dread. TikTok's recommendation engine prioritized content that kept users watching. Videos with strong emotional reactions, fear, anger, or concern, were shown to more viewers. The result, exposure to the rumor was nearly unavoidable. One user scrolling for entertainment could easily find themselves immersed in hours of content discussing alleged child abductions. The digital spread of fear mirrored biological contagion. Experts in psychology and social behavior noted the similarities. Dr. Samuel Ortiz, a cognitive scientist, explained, "Mass psychogenic events aren't new. Historically, humans have experienced collective fear during crises. What's different now is the medium. Social media allows these events to propagate globally, instantly, and continuously. In essence, fear itself has become viral." The Virginia ice cream truck phenomenon revealed deep truths about the human mind in the digital era. Individuals reported physical symptoms, headaches, dizziness, insomnia. After consuming content online, psychologists attributed these reactions to somatic amplification, where anxiety produces real physiological responses. Social reinforcement magnified the effect. Seeing dozens of videos describing similar experiences caused viewers to internalize the fear. The nervous system, responding to perceived threats, produced real sensations. Fear, amplified by social networks, created the impression of a tangible danger, even when none existed. Some teens and young adults reported being unable to leave their homes due to paranoia. Others experienced heightened vigilance, double-checking locks, monitoring playgrounds, and scrutinizing passing vehicles. These behaviors mirrored traditional mass hysteria, but with one critical difference. The fear propagated digitally rather than physically. It wasn't just individuals who were affected. Local authorities reported increased call volumes from concerned citizens. Tips about suspicious trucks poured in. Police had to verify harmless ice cream vendors, field public concerns, and reassure communities, all while no evidence of abduction existed. The ripple effect illustrated the power of digital perception, even as facts were disseminated. The narrative had already embedded itself in consciousness. The line between rumor and reality was, for many, effectively erased. Creators played a pivotal role in shaping the narrative. Some, motivated by genuine concern, documented sightings and shared public safety tips. Others, however, capitalized on the viral trend, creating content designed purely to attract views. They added cinematic filters, suspenseful music, and fabricated sightings to heighten drama. The result? The rumor evolved into a hybrid of reality and fiction, impossible for casual viewers to separate. The most successful videos were not necessarily the most factual, but the most engaging, those that elicited fear, curiosity, and emotional response. One viral TikTok, for instance, showed an empty playground at night, with the faint outline of a truck in the distance. The creator added captions suggesting the vehicle had been involved in multiple disappearances. The video accumulated over 2 million views within 48 hours. Commenters added their own interpretations, effectively crowdsourcing the story. The community became part of the myth-making process. Each user who stitched, remixed, or commented contributed to a feedback loop, reinforcing fear and extending the viral life of the content. Fact-checking organizations and authorities attempted to intervene. Snopes published a detailed analysis, clarifying that no spike in missing children occurred during the period in question. Virginia State Police issued public statements confirming that ice cream trucks were unrelated to any disappearances. Yet the corrections had limited reach. Social media algorithms often deprioritized these posts because they did not generate engagement. Meanwhile, sensational content, claiming abduction or government cover-ups, thrived. The gap between reality and perception widened. This dissonance highlighted a critical aspect of digital culture. Truth competes with virality, not accuracy. Posts that provoked strong emotional reactions gained traction, while nuanced corrections were buried. For users, confirmation bias reinforced the fear. Any ambiguous detail was interpreted as evidence, and contradictions were dismissed as deception or censorship. Though TikTok initiated the panic, the story spread rapidly to other platforms. Twitter threads cataloged sightings. Instagram Reels re-uploaded videos with dramatic music. Reddit threads dissected every clip. Even private messaging apps like Telegram and Discord hosted channels dedicated to investigating the alleged abductions. This cross-platform propagation gave the narrative additional credibility. Viewers encountered similar claims across multiple networks, reinforcing the impression of authenticity. The rumor had escaped the confines of a single platform and become a viral cultural artifact, shared across digital spaces. Beyond the mechanics of virality, the Virginia ice cream truck story illustrates how society interacts with digital information. The phenomenon was not merely a rumor, it was a mirror reflecting contemporary anxieties. Distrust in authority. Official clarifications were often dismissed as post-pandemic trauma. The experience of collective fear during COVID-19 made viewers more susceptible to alarm. Algorithmic reinforcement. Platforms designed for engagement inadvertently magnified emotional content, regardless of accuracy. Psychologists noted that in some ways, this event represented a new type of folklore. Historically, societies created myths and legends to explain the unknown. In 2025, social media allowed myths to propagate instantaneously, with millions of participants. The difference: these modern myths were interactive, co-created, and immersive. The consequences of the viral panic were both digital and real. Anxiety and sleep disorders. Users reported stress-induced physical symptoms from continuous exposure. Community vigilance. Parents became hypervigilant. Children were monitored more strictly, and neighborhood interactions were tinged with fear. Police intervention. Authorities had to manage public concern and debunk claims without escalating panic. Media coverage. News outlets struggled to cover the story responsibly without inadvertently amplifying the rumor. The story also offered lessons about the fragility of perception. Millions of people believed a digital narrative without verification, demonstrating the power of emotion and suggestion over logic and evidence. As September 2025 arrived, the storm of fear that had swept across social media began to meet the cold, steady hand of reality. Authorities, journalists, and fact-checkers worked to clarify the situation. No mass abductions had occurred. No children were missing in unusual numbers, and the ice cream trucks, far from sinister, were simply performing their mundane rounds. Yet, As anyone who had followed the viral narrative could tell you, the digital echo of panic did not dissipate. As Ilia's facts were presented, the Virginia State Police issued a statement in mid-August, addressing the viral TikTok claims. "We are aware of recent videos circulating on social media suggesting multiple child abductions in Virginia. Our investigation confirms that these claims are unfounded. No evidence has been found to support allegations of mass abduction, and the ice cream trucks highlighted in videos are operating legally." Fact-checking organizations such as Snopes and Reuters verified these statements. They analyzed missing children reports in Virginia during the period of alleged abductions. The numbers were telling. Between August 1st and August 31st, 2025, 88 children were reported missing across the state, a figure slightly below the average weekly number of missing children, and in every case law enforcement had explanations including runaway teens, misreported absences, or resolved domestic situations. Despite the clear evidence, the viral narrative continued. For many, the statements from authorities were interpreted as cover-ups or deliberate misinformation. This distrust exemplifies a modern dilemma: the disconnect between official sources and digital communities. The social and psychological consequences of the viral rumor were profound. Parents reported heightened anxiety, checking doors multiple times, monitoring children constantly, and even avoiding certain neighborhoods. Some families canceled or postponed trips and social gatherings due to fear of hidden threats. Children themselves, exposed to the videos, expressed confusion, fear, and reluctance to leave the house, an effect amplified when peers shared similar anxieties online. Mental health professionals began to notice a surge in digital anxiety cases. Individuals reported physical symptoms, headaches, rapid heartbeat, sleep disruption, triggered by exposure to the videos and discussions. Psychologists referred to this as digital somatic response, where the brain interprets online stimuli as real-world danger. In addition to the psychological toll, the rumor had tangible social effects. Neighborhood vigilance increased, with residents forming informal watch groups. Local businesses experienced unusual activity, such as parents requesting to know delivery schedules for ice cream trucks. Police departments, tasked with debunking the myth and ensuring public safety, reported an increase in calls regarding suspicious trucks, a demand that stretched resources and diverted attention from other community concerns. Part of the reason this rumor persisted was the mechanics of digital virality. TikTok's algorithm prioritized videos that elicited strong emotional reactions. Engagement metrics, likes, shares, comments, watch time, signaled the platform to promote content regardless of accuracy. Creators learned quickly. The more dramatic the video, the higher the engagement. Edited clips showing trucks parked at unusual times, overlaid with suspenseful music, received more views than calm, fact-based explanations. This created a feedback loop, where creators were incentivized to produce content that heightened fear, and audiences were drawn to consuming it. Other platforms amplified the effect. Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit allowed users to cross-share posts, remix videos, and provide commentary. Private messaging apps hosted communities dedicated to investigating sightings. The narrative became interactive. The audience was not just consuming the story, but participating in its creation. Dr. Samuel Ortiz, a cognitive scientist, noted, "What's happening here is a social contagion. Fear propagates faster than facts. When millions of individuals reinforce a narrative emotionally, it takes on a reality of its own, regardless of truth." The result was a digital ecosystem of fear. A viral story that persisted because it was emotionally engaging, socially validated, and algorithmically reinforced. The contrast between perception and reality was stark. Viral claims suggested 50 to 80 children abducted in a single week. Official records showed no unusual spike. Videos allegedly depicting suspicious trucks were often misinterpreted. Some were ice cream vendors running late-night deliveries, while others were normal traffic or construction vehicles mistaken for threats under low-light conditions. Nevertheless, viewers experienced the events as if real. This illustrates a critical phenomenon: the subjective reality of viral fear. Even when objective facts disprove a claim, the emotional experience remains potent. Fear once planted, can feel tangible. The phenomenon can be mapped similarly to historical cases of mass hysteria, but with a key difference. The internet allowed the event to propagate faster, further, and more persistently than ever before. In previous eras, rumors spread through word of mouth, letters, or newspapers. Now, they spread across platforms globally within hours. The Virginia ice cream truck story illustrates how digital folklore forms. Traditionally, myths and legends arose to explain unknown dangers. Communities created narratives to warn, entertain, or teach lessons. In 2025, social media allows myths to form instantaneously, but with one crucial twist: interactivity. Every viewer can comment, remix, or create new content, participating in the story-building process. Rumors are verified not through evidence, but through engagement. The more a post is shared, liked, or stitched, the more truthful it feels. This creates a feedback loop. The myth validates itself through social behavior. Fear becomes a cultural artifact, a shared experience constructed collaboratively online. The ice cream truck, once a harmless symbol of childhood joy, was transformed into a digital icon of danger. Algorithmic amplification. Platforms can unintentionally magnify misinformation. Emotional content thrives. Factual corrections lag. Social reinforcement, community engagement validates fear. Repetition across platforms strengthens belief. Cognitive biases. Humans are predisposed to fear threats to children. Confirmation bias ensures we see what aligns with our anxieties. Digital somatic responses. Emotional experiences online can manifest physically. Anxiety becomes real, even if the threat is not. Authority and trust. Official clarifications often fail to reach the audience emotionally. Distrust in institutions prolongs myths. The Virginia ice cream truck story offers a cautionary tale. In a connected, algorithm-driven world, fear itself can become contagious. Unlike viruses, this contagion leaves no biological trace, but its effects are just as real in behavior, emotion, and perception. Despite official statements and fact checks, questions linger. Why did this rumor resonate so strongly at this specific moment? How many viewers truly understood the difference between perception and reality? Will digital myths like this continue to emerge more frequently? And how can communities mitigate their effects? These open questions remind us that in the digital age, the boundary between myth and reality is increasingly porous. Stories that begin as rumors can create real-world consequences, shaping behavior, influencing decisions, and altering perceptions. For many, the Virginia ice cream truck story will be remembered not for the facts, but for the experience of collective fear, the sensation of being part of something larger than oneself, and the anxiety sparked by a viral narrative. As researchers continue to study social contagion, online behavior, and the psychology of fear, the lessons from this case are clear. The next viral mystery may not require evidence or plausibility to achieve real-world impact. It only needs a story, a platform, and an audience willing to believe.